Well, hello, fellow puzzlers. Gosh, the craziness that just happened. My goodness gracious. I'm gonna need a minute to figure out how to even talk about it. Everything's okay. On the last video of this, I had to go deal with something that was happening, but I don't think I can talk about it. I have to figure out if I can talk about that or not, so I am sorry for the rude interruption, but it was important that I stepped away. So now the real pressure begins, because I want to try and get this all done in one sitting. Oh dear, let's see how that's gonna go, eh? Okay, let's go somewhere down there. So, the loud noise. Actually, let me just switch gears completely here as well. I was gonna have to end up charging my my camera. It was almost the battery was almost gone completely. So regardless, I was going to have to stop making the video anyway. So indulge me so that I may indulge me so that I can actually talk about something which would be worthwhile for you guys to hear. So I'm just gonna return back. There we go. I'm gonna return. No, gosh darn, God, I just want that to fit somewhere, but it won't. But I'm forcing it. There we go. There we go. Allow me the luxury to discuss something else, which will probably be more beneficial than my other stuff. Anyway, blah blah blah. Okay, let me think now. What can I talk about? What should I talk about? So, where that belongs. I'm running out of time, so I don't want to get stuck on silly details that are merely not super important at the moment. Okay, so things that I wish I would have known in my career when I was a paramedic. And again, this is just my opinion, but having 10 years in the field, I think I have the right to hopefully, just ensure that you all, whoever wants to still be a paramedic and still can be, that you have all of the knowledge that I wish I would have had. So again, I will say that I really miss the career. It taught me how to work hard, how to persevere, and how to be strong. Now, what else was helpful? Well, let's see. Something that was helpful was utilizing the experiences of my colleagues that I liked and trusted to, learn from their experiences. Oh, this is a good one, actually. Okay. I just want to make sure it's recording, but I'm going to have to move because I need more puzzle pieces, I think. Well, I know I do. One thing that I think is very undervalued, which is a shame, is the experiences of people that have come before you. Now, is there a way to do it the correct way every single time? No, not necessarily. That would just be foolish. However, there is certainly something to be said from taking the knowledge that you learn from taking the knowledge that you learn in a classroom where, as real as they try to simulate it. Nothing is ever real as when it is in front of you. I can promise you that. It is just wild how you may feel so prepared, and then I promise you, you will. If you don't get scared, it's okay. It's not that you have to get scared, but if you never feel scared at all, gosh, can you teach a class and write a book? Because that must be such a such an interesting way to feel. And I'd love to know how your brain allows you to do that type of emergency medicine without feeling scared. So, long and short of it, if you can't tell, I think that many people feel scared, and if you do feel scared, you are not alone. That is natural. That is normal, because I think with anything in the world, until you kind of do it a few times, you may feel unsure of yourself. You may feel you might feel low confidence. What else? You know, just so many. You can kind of understand what I'm trying to say here. So that's not a nice feeling. So perhaps when you're working with colleagues, and perhaps, you know, there's a connection there, like you feel, because if you don't how do I say this? If you don't respect the speaker in any type of situation, occupation, life, you know, whatever, then the message is going to get lost in the details, and the details being that you don't respect that person. Now, if you do respect the person, then, you know, perhaps it will be worth your while to kind of, even if you just ask them like theoretical questions. So, hey, you know, I learned about and I guess my advice is more so for someone new, obviously, because look, if you've been doing this for a long time, you probably know what works for you and what doesn't. Now, it's completely up to you if you want to make any changes to make things easier for you. But if you've made it this far and you don't think that you're struggling, well, then good for you. You know, and my advice would really be moot for you. So all of that being said, I guess I'm trying to provide advice for people just getting into the career and not really sure, you know, how to set things up and da-da-da-da. That's why I talk about learning how to set up your uniform, because to me, there is strong benefit to muscle memory when you do emergency medicine. You know, instead of having to kind of, I don't know. I just think it's easier. Like everything should just be set up in the same way, you know, for on your person, so that when you're reaching into this pocket, you know that the only thing in that pocket is, I don't know, like your lip chap and your $20 that I kind of advise you to maybe always carry on you. You know what I mean? It's versus that pocket, you know, that you know, there's no chance that you would have misplaced something because you always put this in that pocket and it's not there. So clearly it's not on your person. Trust me, when you start working shift work, and I mean shift work, you'll see how much the memory can falter sometimes, especially at that 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm just gonna sit here and fight the sun that's coming in at that angle, but won't speak badly of the sun. I would like that very much to hang out for quite a while. I'm just trying to figure out what this one piece is, and I cannot. Not yet, anyway. I'll get it. All right, going back to the sorting pile. Thankfully, this puzzle is moving quickly, which is nice, because I'm running out of time to do it, so And I actually really enjoy doing the puzzles in the greenhouse. I know I said that I shouldn't, and I've certainly have ruined another puzzle that I really was excited to do. I did not want to wreck it. Nonetheless, I wrecked it. So now I'm just going to push to get this one done in one afternoon so that it also does not get wrecked, and see where I end up. So I did get the last one done all in one day. Never mind, I was darn near frozen, but I got it done. There goes my husband on his ATV. Okay. It's actually a much smaller puzzle size-wise than I thought it would be quite honest with you. So what else would be my advice? Yes, certainly respect the experience that comes before you, because as well, just as in medicine, medicine changes all the time, and what's really interesting about that is the fact that it has to be acknowledged that at one point in time, paramedics were ambulance drivers, and there is something honorable in that, because what the job was at that time, like what ambulance drivers were asked to do back in the day, oof, not easy. So I think that they deserve our utmost respect and our utmost respect and appreciation, because there is no way that could have ever been easy. Like, there's just no way. Gosh, like it's just wild to me. Well, we all know that at one time, there's no secret that ambulances were actually run out of the funeral homes. And so, like that, there's no way that wasn't difficult, for people trying to respond and deal with these things, and a lot of pressure. So I think that because we have made such strides in making things better, so like some medications, so there's been an increase in expectations of paramedics and what paramedics can do on scene, and I think that is really cool, because as we've learned, and as we see in so many different emergencies, time is everything, and sometimes there's not enough time to get to the hospital. You need that medication now, or you need blah 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 now. So I just think it's really cool how the history of paramedicine has happened and is happening. It's still happening. So I do think that is all very interesting. So yeah, just make sure you always just be kind and respect the experience that's come before you, because that can't be easy, the jobs that they used to have to do. And I do know some people that did work more so as a back in the day as an actual ambulance driver, and it's like, yeah, okay, the label was different, but I'm like, the job, like, gosh, I don't know if I could have done it way back in the day. Like, I think the odds were too stacked against you. So the ones who did do it, like, yeah, of course you have my utmost appreciation and gratitude. Like, you paved the way for me to later enter into paramedicine in a very different way. And so thank you for, going to work every day and doing a job that, gosh, like that must have been hard. So anyway, let me move on because I feel a cry coming on. I'm not too sure why, but that's okay. It just means that I appreciate people so much that it actually it can make me cry, because I don't know, I just think it's cool. I think it's cool when people want to help each other, and I think it's cool when people want to be nice to each other and get along. Like, gosh, that's the world I'm looking for, you know what I mean? So, and if not, like, you don't have to add a nasty comment. You don't have to add, like, if you don't agree, then just let it go and move on to a new channel. Like, because, gosh, like, it's just, is no one tired of just the fighting and the arguing and the negativity all the time? Because, like, I'm so done with all this stuff. I just mean in life, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's like, rah, 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 and it's, well, not everyone. Some people are like, rah, 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 rah. Yeah, I'll make that sound as many times. Rah, 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 rah. And it's just like, gosh, like, let's just, I don't know, we're all in this together, so what are we still fighting about? So, anyway. Okay, what else can I talk about? I'm trying to see. There we go. It's like, when can I get a good connection here? Let's see. Where's the red? I don't know. Okay, let me see. That sun is just at that angle, I'll tell you. Oh, it's like way over here underneath the window somewhere. Okay. See, pardon me. I wonder if I can get that rope. That's going to be an interesting one to get. Okay, where is that? That's way over there. Well, you go there. Nice. So nice when stuff connects and works. Ugh, just the best. Nice. Okay, what else can I talk about? Nice. Okay, here's a sad one. Unfortunately, if you are looking to get into paramedicine, you are going to have to become comfortable, and let me talk about this before anyone freaks out. You are going to have to learn, if you want to be a paramedic, that sometimes people are gonna die. And there's not too much that can be done sometimes. And that is hard. Oh, grief is hard to deal with. Definitely feels as if it's unfair. Definitely feels as if it's not right. All the stuff. But I really struggled to understand that people are going to die. And this was so long ago. A doctor once told me, said, yep, people die. And it wasn't in a heartless way. It wasn't in a callous way. It was nothing negative. It was, yep. And, it's just, it was the simplest of advice. It wasn't really advice. It was just kind of a passing thing. And it wasn't anything it wasn't supposed to be. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Oh gosh, that's a hard way to say that sentence. it was just such an eye-opener, because I think that if you get pigeonholed into that, well, paramedics save people, they save people. Yes, yeah, they absolutely try their absolute best, but sometimes you are not going to be able to save someone. And my advice to you is just ensure that you are ready for that feeling of, perhaps through no fault of your own, feeling like a failure, because sometimes you are going to be able to save a life, and then other times, no, you're not going to be able to, no matter what you do. And there's certainly levels of frustration that come with that, because, well, how could there not be, right? Because I mean, gosh, if I sit here and talk about muscle memory, but I don't discuss the fact that, it's funny, to me, the brain, sometimes I think the brain will get used to, I think sometimes the brain will get used to thinking that if it just does this medication at this time and this, but here's my question: what happens when that doesn't work? What happens when what happens when what you expect to work doesn't? How are you gonna be affected? How are you gonna bounce back? How are you gonna accept, that sometimes blah 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 blah? Like, are you going to be able to do that? It's okay. I think that is a learned skill. And it is certainly not an easy one to learn. And it's been no secret that I struggle immensely with feeling like a failure. Now, as time has progressed, my feelings of a failure have decreased, thankfully, but will they ever go away completely? Nah, probably not. Because too much of my job was based on the weight of saving people. So I don't think that feeling will ever go away. That, you gotta save people, you gotta this, you gotta that, you gotta, like, so, and that's okay. Like, it is what it is. I'm certainly not going to be stressed that, I feel responsible for people, because, I don't know, gosh, maybe if we all took each other's feelings into account, the world may be a better place. Like, I don't know. I think that's a great way to think, but I know some people, will be angry at that. And gosh, I don't understand where the anger comes from sometimes, you guys. All right, let me move my my puzzle board around. Okay, what do I want to go after now? Let's see. Something that speaks to me. Where's the rope? That's what I want to know. Well, what's the sky? No, I don't want to start in the sky. The sky, I think, is going to be at the end, but I felt like the rope was going to be a good idea. Let's see if I can get a few sky pieces, I guess. As I literally just finished saying, I did not want to do the sky, but I just want to see if I can plug in the sky where there's other objects, trees or buildings or whatnot. I'm gonna dare to say it. Does anyone else notice that the guinea hens are not freaking out today? I have not done one single thing different with them. It's just funny how that works, eh? Okay. Yeah, I think I might be a 500-piece puzzler now. I don't know. And then you see people like, oh, this 12,000 piece, like, what? Holy Hosanna. Okay, maybe I can take the glass. It's just certain spots that sun is just hitting, but that's okay. There's your key. No, you don't want to go either. There we go, perfect. So that'll go in that corner. Still recording? Yep. Okay. Oh, that's the side of the building. No? No, one more. Okay, that's fine. Nice, so that's just ticket-a-boo. Ticket-a-boo. Okay, let's see what else. So sorry guys, I'm not trying to be quiet over here. I'm trying to race the sun to get this puzzle done. Let's see what else. What else can I let you guys know? Okay, here's an interesting. Well, no, can I talk about that? Okay, here's a really good one, which is no secret, so I can talk about this. Yay! If you want to become a paramedic, especially in Nova Scotia, and I'm not winding anybody up, I'm just trying to give you some good advice. You better learn how to be patient. Ooh, allow me to explain. So, I never really had good patience, ever. I try my absolute best, but sometimes I just, oh gosh. Now, could I be so bold as to say perhaps paramedics are not the most patient people? Is that going to upset some people? All I'm going to say, all right, calm down, I can already hear it. All I'm going to say is that I think that it would be fair to imagine that paramedics may struggle, oh come on, where's that go? May struggle with having patience, and that is not every single person, but it definitely was me, because you work this high intense pressure job. There's just no way that you're not gonna, because everything's go, you know, time, get them to the hospital, get this, do this. Well, but then the flip side is you have to remain calm, and that's hard because you feel pressure, but then this, and it's such a balancing act. It's all so interesting to me, like so interesting. But some advice is, if you self-identify that you have very low patience, I can tell you that is definitely something you are going to want to work on, because I'm just going back to my sorting pile here, because there is no job where you have to, like, not everything can be go. Sometimes you have to do what's called offload delay. And that is something that has been discussed in detail on many of the news channels in Nova Scotia. And I tell ya, it seemed to me that sometimes you would move quickly to get to the hospital, and then you wait. And I understand that the hospitals are working to the best of their ability. I completely understand that. However, I need my patient to be taken care of. And it may seem selfish, but the way that paramedicine was explained to me was that you could, in school and stuff, was a very good lesson was, do you want to be a technician or a clinician? And I always found that very interesting. I hope that I was a technician, and not just step A, step B, step C, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I guess my belief is that I was taught like that so that I would learn to think on my feet. Because, yes, there are other people that have taken the time and they have the education to study these things and understand it and whatnot. So they know, oh, when this medical emergency happens, you do this, this, and this. But when this happens, you do this, this, and this. And that is all fine and good. But sometimes that does not always happen in that way, because perhaps blah blah blah, and as I said, this job is ever changing, so it can be, I do think that if you rely only on, step 1, step 2, step 3, and that's how you run a call, as you will learn that terminology, and all that means is just doing it, doing what you're hired to do. It can be very hard, and you really should learn how to think, and think in many different ways, because you have a big responsibility, and it can become, in my opinion, very overwhelming very quickly. And that is okay, because you're human. However, if you do not work on what you identify as your weakness, well, then nothing's ever going to change, right? Because all of the policies have already been identified for you to follow. But if you keep running into situations where those policies are failing you, just in terms of, I don't know, hypothetically, okay, well, COVID's certainly no secret. So you can imagine that ambulances had to change their practices once COVID became a thing. This was a new disease that I believe the entire world was unsure of. What is it? What happens? Can we do this? What happens when we do this? Blah, 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 blah. So, and I'm not diminishing COVID, not in the least. I worked before COVID, I worked after COVID, I worked during COVID, and I worked after COVID. I understand the severity and complexities of COVID. Now, that being said, if I hadn't kind of been willing to learn and change and whatnot, then you're not, I don't, that's just literally setting yourself up for failing. So my advice would be, know what your weaknesses are, and that's okay. You're gonna have weaknesses, especially if you're just starting out. Holy geez, you certainly cannot start and hit it every time. And even if you do, okay, here's another, so try and stay ahead of your weaknesses, because it's a good thing to always kind of stay on top of your medicine, and that's for anyone, nurses, doctor, whoever, because medicines is very important and very complex. And so yeah, I just think that healthcare professionals have a due diligence to stay current and whatnot. So yeah. What else can I talk about? Oh yes, if you perhaps do your job, which means doing a call. And that is basically just helping out with someone's emergency that they're having. So if you do your job and do a call, I always think it's good to kind of do a quick review of the call with, like, you know, in your head, because, and you can certainly, identify. I think it's good to perhaps identify, like, you know, in your head, how did that call go well? What would I change anything on the call? Like, da 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 da. Because it's just, maybe the call, maybe there's a miscommunication between you and your partner. So, you know, maybe you think the call went really well. Maybe they thought the call went really bad. Like, heck, who knows? But certainly, I think what's called debriefs are so beneficial. Like, whoa, they're so great. So keeping in mind the strict rules of confidentiality, see if there is a way, and perhaps discuss with your supervisor. If you have questions about a call, is there a professional and responsible way for you to do a debrief about that call, so that next time when it happens, when that exact call, and I know I can't say exact because it's always different every time, but when a situation like that occurs, what are you going to do next time? Yes, you'll certainly do what the policies state, do not get me wrong, but when those same policies do not work, because whatever the reason is, it doesn't matter, how are you going to carry on, my wary, wary soldier? Because it is very hard, and not only that, you always have to be wanting to learn from this stuff, because, I mean, listen, I could sit here and be cross that, I can't do a job anymore that I really loved, and did I love it every single day? Nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is a hard job to love 24/7. However, it's important that I learn from what happened. Otherwise, what is the point of life, right? Like, I don't know. So, slowly and methodically in my head, I'm going through not my whole career, but darn nearly close, because it's just, I think it's just really important to persevere, because yes, it would be very easy for me to just give up, to be disappointed in myself like this, but I'm proud of what I accomplished in 10 years. Now, do I think that there is this really neat opportunity for me to perhaps give some pieces of advice for those that want to hear it? Yes, of course I do, because in a sense, I don't know, I feel like I'm helping people, and that is what, as I've identified many times, that is what I miss the most about being a paramedic at one time. So kind of a win to me, I think. But if you disagree, that's absolutely fine. You are allowed to disagree. Same way I am allowed to talk about how I feel about things. So this is the world we're in. This is so saucy. But anyway, yeah, so. Alright, let's see how I can get through this puzzle. Nope, darn. Alright, and that light is just that perfect angle for darn near blindness in here. Alright, where did he go? There's something there. So what's there on the window? You go there? Nice, okay. Sorry guys. Okay, you're over here somewhere. Nice. And see, I hate getting trapped up on like one piece of the puzzle because, you know, you could get trapped up on one, or you could just identify that you're getting trapped and move on. So that's all I mean about that. Where do you're definitely upside down? Oh, you go way down here, like way down. Wait, now where are you? There you are. Okay, cool. Ugh. You want to know something really embarrassing? I did this video. Oh my goodness, hang on. I gotta get a drink. Hang on. I'm still here. I'm just getting greedy and pulling up puzzle pieces I saw walking by. Yeah, something super embarrassing. Well, not super. Something embarrassing. I made that video in length before, and do you think I had the microphone plugged in? For gosh sake. So I'm pretty sure it recorded the way I wanted to, but just so frustrating when like you think you have all your little ducks in a row and you sit here trying to provide advice, and then gosh darn. So anyway, the mic is plugged in now, so if the audio sounds very different from one video to the other, yes, that is me forgetting to plug the microphone in, so I apologize. And my nose, I'm not sick, but my nose just wants to run and run and run, and it just, if it could stop running, that would be so much appreciated. So much. It's running like a bandit. Abandoned? A bandit. It's running like a bandit. Okay. The sun is gonna be a hindrance, I think, here, but that's okay. Okay, your shirt comes up like that. So you'd have to go like that. So there, there you go. Okay. Didn't look like it was the right color story, but it is. So huzzah for me. There you go there. Oops. Yeah, I quite enjoy this puzzle, like the quality of it. So perhaps I'll look into who makes this puzzle and see what other pieces they have for me to purchase. Because yeah. Now, why are you that way? Oh, you go up top somewhere. Oh, I see what he did. The photographer did blurry in more than one section, because I'm pretty sure that they just blurred out the faces. Nope, that doesn't go. The faces of the people in the shot, which is fine. But yeah. Okay. Where's that little bit of blue? But I shouldn't get caught up in that. It's like a window or something. Okay, so this, I'd really like to get the building done. I don't understand why I'm struggling so much to get that done. That is frustrating for me. There, no, darn. There's one with the window. Can you tell I'm just doing the desperate shuffle? Finally. I was like, I know one's gotta go that matches the story line so much. Not as windy today, though, at this moment anyway, so that's very nice. Anyway, okay. What else can I talk about? Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Well, now let me see how to say this. Nice. Let me think how to speak, Trizia. What can I talk about with you? Go? Nope. Nope. I don't know where you go. What else? Oh, yes. Oh, geez. So, something that I always had on my person, but I did not have the same version as some people. And I think this is an interesting thing to talk about, is the trauma shears, or not sharps, the trauma shears. Some people had very intense trauma shears, and that's fine because you are that's your choice. It is 100% your choice. But may I just say something from experience, that you better ensure that you are able to open up your trauma shears with one hand. And that may seem silly to you, but trust me, I say that from experience. I never had the intense trauma shears some people had, but when I just was just handling them for a minute, I never understood how to open those trauma shears with one hand. And I have certainly had circumstances in my life, on calls, where I could not use two hands to open up a pair of scissors. And so I think that before, and typically those scissors are actually more money to purchase, and just ensure that you're getting trauma scissors for what you actually need, and not because someone else had them, and blah blah blah, because and not that it's just, you just want to be careful, because I don't necessarily agree that that paramedics always need those really intense raptors, or like what. And it's not I'm not trying to speak ill of these scissor providers, or these trauma shears, or whatever you want to call them, because they are great. They're great when you need them. But do I think that every situation calls for them? No, not necessarily. But often you do need some type of scissor when you're a paramedic. Now, if you have one hand, can you still open up your scissors, whatever brand they may be? Because sometimes you cannot let go of whatever you're letting go of. You just can't do it. You have to hold pressure. You have to this. You know, you can imagine the situations that paramedics find themselves in terms of that kind of stuff. So I just think there's a lot of value to a pair of trauma shears that you can open up with one hand. And if you still don't believe me, that's absolutely fine, because at the end of the day, it doesn't affect my day, it affects your day. So, however you want to carry forth, my weary soldier, you carry forth. But I'm just trying to tell you, you will feel that same frustration that I've seen on many faces time and time again when, you know, going to cut something, can't let go, but can't cut either. Oof. I don't understand that. I'm like, why do you have those? So, anyway, I don't need anyone to explain me. I've seen them cut through things that my scissors could not cut through. However, the statistical, you know, probability of that, I don't know. Versus struggling with just a pair of scissors to cut something. Okay, where's the rope at? I think I'm too much in the board, or in the puzzle space. Thought I could get that done, but that's okay. Not a problem. Now, let's see where this rope goes. Where do you go? Go right there. Nice. Okay, rope. Wouldn't it be so cool if it just fit right in there? Where's the rope? Oh, it's like tucked against the wall. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to do these picnic tables, I think. Yeah, nothing's really making sense. How are we on? No, we're still doing good. Okay. What else can I do here that would work? The building's done. I gotta do some of the sky, but I don't want to do the sky right now. Well, find the trees. A little blue there. I'm just seeing what's gonna speak to me and hopefully become easier as I'm going. Fit in with anything? Nope, not a chance. Nope. There? Oh, darn. Okay. There's another rope. Obviously, if I find rope, I'm gonna grab it too. Sometimes you just gotta grab that rope, huh? So funny, I promise that sometimes when you do a puzzle, you'll think you'll never get it done. And then other times you're like, no, I can get this done. And then you might go back to, oh, I don't think I'm going to get this done. It's just so funny. Funny how that all works, eh? Where's this piece? I had a piece of white. Where did you go? Right there? Nice. Okay. Now some green with that's gotta be up there. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna change things up. I'll tell ya. Here's a great tip. If you want to be a paramedic, you better be adaptable to change. Whoa. I think healthcare has taken big leaps and bounds. Nonetheless, you will, if you are a paramedic on an ambulance, you will never have the same workspace ever. Because one minute you'll be in someone's house, and the next minute you will be in someone's car, and the next minute you'll be, you see what I'm saying? So if you don't like change, you may struggle, and that's not a bad thing. It's just, identify what's going to be a hindrance for you, or what's going to be interesting for you or good for you in that job, and what are some things that you may have to work on or figure out, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just trying to give you the most knowledge that I possibly can before you make this big decision. And if you've already made it, well, congratulations, and I hope nothing but the best for you. Really and truly, I do. I think it's quite a thing to want to be a paramedic these days, so good for you. And please don't be too hard on yourself if you are surprised. Please don't be too hard on yourself if you have some setbacks, but I'm just trying to hopefully give some knowledge, pass on some pieces of advice that, I wish that someone had kind of done this when I was getting ready to become a paramedic, but nonetheless, here we are. So, and yeah, so if you want to be a paramedic, you better learn how to like change, because it is ever changing, and it is it's this wild job that I don't know. I've had a lot of jobs. I have sold knives door to door. I have, gosh, what else have I done? Waitressing, hotels. I had a quick stint in my field. I used to do, at one point in time in my life, I studied interior design, and I actually got a job in that. Unfortunately, it didn't last long. It was almost, not that I was inspired by TLC, but TLC had just finished really, pounding out you can do this for $100 in one weekend by yourself. And I'm like, oh, no, they're not actually, doing what I would do. But I can understand that perhaps, yes, if someone told you that you could do it yourself easily, for a low amount of money with a low amount of time commitment, yes, of course I could understand why that would be appealing. Oh, nice connect there. Of course I can understand why that would be appealing. However, please do not be, don't be, not fooled, don't be dissuaded. Is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word. Please don't believe that the job that TLC was doing was anything like what interior designers do, because it just, the job couldn't be any different. However, I live in a province which often, it probably wasn't the best place to try and have that type of a career, just because it's a type of job that really requires people to have discretionary income. And I don't think anybody really has much of a discretionary income anymore. I know I certainly do not. Nonetheless, that is the type of clientele that sometimes you really need for that type of, because, they'll say, oh, I want, for example, someone says, oh, I find this one room very dark. Okay, so to me, you could do two things. You could put up some mirrors, paint it white, maybe do fresh linen, because linen always tends to update a space. Or you could determine if you have load-bearing walls or not. And perhaps you could put in an extension or a patio or some French doors, or, you know, you could do other things to make the space feel different. I think it's about more than just mirrors and whatnot. Now, that's not a slam to anyone. That is just my opinion. Same way as, you know, in many things in life, there's a way to do it, and then there's another way to do it. So that's all I'm saying. Wish I knew where the puzzle piece went. There we go, like that. Now, I don't know where that goes. It should go right there. But yeah. So, still can't find that middle piece. Maybe I just did. Come on, huzzah! That's so nice. Okay, do you go there maybe? I'm gonna go like that. Like that. Sometimes I think you just have to spin and spin and spin the puzzle piece until it kind of finds its resting spot. Go like that. No. Okay, that's okay. Now, I wonder if that goes like that, maybe. Where do you go? Where do you want to go, puzzle piece? That's too much. No, it's like that. Sure you don't go there. Alright, walk away from that. Oh, maybe that goes like that. Nope, not a chance on that either. Okay, what else? So yes, get very comfortable with change, because it's a career ever changing, it's a job ever changing. So I just don't want you to be disappointed. I'd rather give advice and hopefully. Oh, does it go like that? I'd rather give advice and hopefully, you know, it set you up for success. Because, look, it. Yeah. It's just it's the most wildest career you'll ever do. I promise you. It's wild. Okay, where does this go? That goes over here, and then where do you want to go? You want to go there. Nice. I'm thinking I'm going to get this done tonight. I'm confident, which is nice because me saying I'm confident is certainly not always the case. So it's nice to not feel scared. It's nice to not feel like I'm struggling. It's nice to feel like I'm going to achieve a goal. And yeah. And I really feel like I would have had this done a lot sooner. But as I said, some stuff happened that I had to walk away. But I also had to charge my camera anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Where's all this? Oh, I bet you it's there. Okay. That makes sense. How's everybody's day going, by the way? Not that you guys are here to answer me by any means, but at the same time, if anybody wants to comment anything, feel free. What other advice can I give? Oh gosh, this is a big one. Oh. If you think that you want to become a paramedic, I am not trying to shame anyone. All I'm trying to do is to manage your expectations. You better believe that you are going to be lifting people. And you better have a smile on your face when you do it. No, I'm just teasing. Just realize that you are often going to be valued for your muscles. Because sometimes you'll go for people who unfortunately no longer have the strength to get up on their own. And, you know, that may seem like not, you know, what you signed up for, but if you're working in Nova Scotia, I can tell ya, you are, you're certainly going to be, picking up people up off the ground. And, I don't think there's anything confidential in that. I'm just going through my head. But I mean, that's, gosh, like, you know, that's just understanding medicine. Like, that's not confidential at all. It can be difficult depending on, you know, are there injuries? Like, what's the anatomy of the person you're picking up? Like, you have to be cognizant of all of that stuff. Because if you're not, you could actually get hurt, because you could think, oh yes, like I could move this person that way. But if you perhaps, you know, lifted the wrong way, lifted the way you shouldn't have, then what happens when you get injured? Do you know what I mean? So that's not fair. I don't ever want to see that for anyone. So just try, and it's not like you have to become a bodybuilder. It's not about that, because I mean, I'm certainly no bodybuilder by any means. However, to keep yourself safe, just ensure that you're always try your best to communicate, I guess is what I'm really trying to say. With whoever you are moving someone else with. Because if you fail to communicate, and one person perhaps lifts when the other person wasn't expecting it, well, actually that can get quite detrimental. And you certainly don't want to be responsible for hurting your back or someone else's back. So just be ever so cognizant. Why did I pull that over now? Be ever so cognizant that unfortunately can become a reality if you are not careful. And yeah, and that's okay. These are things that perhaps, you know, you didn't really think about before. And if you did, cool, good for you. Then, you know, I fully expect you to, if you kind of are like, yes, I know, okay, cool, then I fully expect you to always do proper lifts and all of that stuff, because if you don't, well, it's going to be, you know, your back is going to get sore, and, you know, gosh, imagine if you, like, drop someone, I mean, so, you know, always just make sure anyone who is moving anyone else is just always cognizant of what's happening, and how, what, you know, and plan things out. There's a lot to be said for, you know, ensuring everybody's on the same page. So, okay, we're going to lift this way, and then we're going to this. And I mean, you haven't even touched anyone yet. To lift up, you are simply just planning it out. And that is, I think, admirable. To ensure everyone is on the same page, because it is important to be careful when you're lifting someone, but I understand you're also trying to compete against time, against this, so I get it, but I do think it is just so important to be mindful when you're moving people, because everything can just go awry if you're not careful. And yes, it may seem like I'm putting a lot of pressure on you. Good. I want you to work for a long time, and I want you to be successful, and I don't want you to end up like me. I am doing okay, but I certainly do not do okay every day. And I don't ever want someone else to, you know, to be where I'm at. So, yeah. Can't figure out where some of these pieces go. That's not fun. Not fun at all. Where do you go? Oh, I gotta sneeze. Oof. goodness. Pardon me. Goodness gracious. But, no, like that. No, 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 no. Where do you go? Okay. Oh, let's see that one there. Now, you went over here somewhere, didn't you? This. There we go. Nice. Okay, good. Okay, you have to go somewhere here. Nope. Yes, nice. Okay, what else? You don't go there, you'd have to go up here then. So you're gonna go like that. Excellent. Okay. Gotta get up. Also, too, I'm in that chair again that I didn't really like before. It has no cushion, so it's hard on my backside. Is that it? No. No, 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 no. I don't know about you guys, I do find that when my head is like, when my nose is down, I find it just drips and drips and drips. Like, oh, it's so annoying. So annoying. Did it work? Yep. No, that doesn't work. Does it work like that? No. No, 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 no. 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 I don't know where you go. Alright, that's okay. Okay, this is gonna go where? Where do you go? You have to go up here. There you go. Nice. Okay. No. Okay. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? You want to go right? Nope. Yes? Ah, nice. Excellente. Okay, you're gonna do something. Where are you at? You're there, maybe? Yes. Oh, you're way back. There we go. Okay. Is there anything like that in here? I don't think so. Oh, maybe some of the... maybe some... Okay, I'm going back. Sorry, guys. I know I'm just blabbling away here, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with blabbling. Oh, you know what? I just thought of a great piece of advice. So, remember how I talked about earlier being... you know how I talked about earlier being at the hospitals in what's known as offload delay, which has been on the news over and over and over and over and over. Something that I always tried to do to the best of my ability. I always engaged with my patient when we were sitting in the hallway waiting for our turn. Oh, there you are. Waiting for our turn. I think it's so important that, you know, just because you may not be moving, the patient is still your responsibility, plus the patient is probably really scared. And so I just think it's so much nicer to try and just talk to them and, gosh, like, you know, follow their lead. Like, maybe not have intense conversations because maybe they're tired and they're scared or, you know, whatever. But I do think that it's really nice when you know, you make the effort just to just chit chat, because even though, yes, you could say, oh, I have, you know, someone with chest pain, or I have that, you know, in your head, you know, you still have a person in front of you, right? Like, it's still a human being. And I think that, you know, that person perhaps is very scared. There we go. Nice job. That person is perhaps very scared, and perhaps they are confused about what is happening to their own body, and you know, just perhaps like so much, right? So I just think that if you can, if it's appropriate, just chit chat to them, like take some of the stress away. Because okay, here's a perfect example, and I'm not saying that this is guaranteed going to work, but you know, you could try. Like just think about just trying. You know, when you call any 1-800 number and they play the music and whatnot. So apparently, see, I'm a marketing major, so I studied all of this. Apparently, I believe it was WestJet. I think they were the one I studied anyway. They would actually, instead of playing music, play jokes while you were waiting. And it is in my head. Where do you go? You go there. I seem to remember there being literature to suggest that actually that was quite smart of WestJet to do, because if you're breaking up the time waiting with jokes, then probably when the customer service representative does finally pick up the phone, I feel like you'd be a lot less likely to be as cross or be as frustrated with them, because you may be laughing at a joke that was just on the phone while you were waiting. So that's all I'm saying is, if it is appropriate, because it may not always be appropriate, and I'm not saying you have to say jokes. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, just realize that you have a human being in front of you, and yes, you have been trained in all of this stuff. So isn't that lucky for you that you maybe are not scared, because you've done this certain type of a call this many times and you know how it's going to go. But maybe this person who's actually going through it, because it's their body, maybe they don't know what to expect, maybe they don't know what to think, maybe they're scared. So just be cognizant of that fact, please, because that is something that I feel kind of gets lost in the weeds. Do you know what I mean? And that's okay. I mean, it's not in my opinion. I'm certainly not here to judge, but I'm just saying, like, let's not forget that, you know, there's something to be said for bedside manner. Can we put it like that then? Like, is that acceptable for everyone? Just think about the time that you got. Have you never had a time in your life where you were super scared or super this or super whatever, and someone made you kind of feel better, but in a non-medical intervention way? Well, that person was probably using bedside manner. And I think there really is something to that. Whether it be, you know, like the Patch Adams, like, you know, laughter is a type of medicine. Now, whether you agree or disagree, that is absolutely fine. But I'm just saying, prepare to have some patience, because you could be waiting in the hallway for hours. I don't know what you're dealing with. I don't know what the hospitals are dealing with. I'm just saying, it does happen that you, even though you have someone who is sick and scared in front of you, you may not be going in to see someone about that immediately. That's just unfortunately not how things work. Maybe back in the day before, you know, there started to be such wait for healthcare, but nowadays I think it is just accepted that you are going to wait. And I tell you, don't be jealous of anyone that gets in right away. If someone gets in right away, typically, they're sick. And don't ever be jealous of someone if they get in right away, because that's not fun either. So you know. Anyway, yeah. So just you know, don't ever lose the compassionate side of you. And you know, if maybe you need to just be reminded of that time and time, like a few times, that's okay. It is not easy, this job that you are choosing to go do. So it is natural that you might forget this. It is natural you might forget that. But I think the thing that people need the most nowadays is just someone to be kind to them. I just think that is so important, and I'm fearful that sometimes we're losing that level of compassion for others. Now, if you disagree, that is absolutely fine, and I'm really happy that you see the how do I say this? I'm really happy that someone else can see the beauty that is like mankind, and you know, and I'm not trying to go off on a tangent, but I'm just saying, like, it's nice if you're like, oh, I don't really see it like that, and that's awesome. Like, man, oh man, awesome. And I hope that that you continue to always see things very differently than me. But I'm just, the only thing I can do is kind of give my thought process, and hopefully someone else can benefit from it, because I wish I had known some of this stuff getting into all of that, you know what I mean? So, yeah, there we go. Yeah, sweet. Oh, I bet you were those pieces. Yeah, you put it right there. Fantastic. Okay, getting a little chilly. I should start tick-a-taboo, moving along a little bit faster, I think, than I am. Okay, good, 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 good. Where do you go? You want to go? I'm going to go right there. Excellent. Also, to puzzle talk, if you find that you are struggling and cannot and just cannot figure out where the pieces are going to go, that is okay. What you can actually do, I don't know, I may do it, I may not have to. Now, sometimes I do, absolutely. You can, I don't know how to say it, it's shocking. Sometimes you can actually divide the pieces up in and amongst, you know, which has, you know, in the similar shapes. Some people really enjoy using, where do you go? Some people really enjoy using the tray sorters. Oh, that's where you go. That is not for me. However, if that's for you, well, that's cool. Like, no sweat, no sweat. So yeah. Don't understand where you go. You don't go there. But you're somewhere with trees. Oh, I wish I could figure out where this went. I do not have a clue where that goes. Okay, that's all right. Now I'm gonna make sure that you see that. Hopefully you can see it. I'm starting to lose the ability to see everything clearly in front of my face just because the position of the sun, and that is perfectly fine. I'm not worried about that in the least. I just want to hopefully get this puzzle done, which would be grand. It is chilly in here. I don't know why I should just do the picnic table, but the picnic table, for some reason, is getting me too nervous to really like go to the puzzle pile and pull all the picnic table pieces. I don't know why. I'm just like, can't do it, just not yet. And it's like, just do it. Just face your fear and just do it. And I'm like, oh, let me pull this random puzzle piece. Let me do everything I can possibly do to not do that. But then it's funny because then usually the puzzle piece I'm going for actually makes